I'm Maddy. Welcome back to Maddy Makes. We'll be going on a trinket tour of Victoria with my friends. I am Lizzie.
Oscar. Max.
And we're gonna go over there to Market Square first. To our first stop on the trinket tour of Victoria. So this is Thrift Craft, a creative reuse store. She takes donations and then she sorts them. You can find the coolest stuff here. I love finding little trinkets and bits and bobs and buttons and everything you would need. I actually wear one on my necklace with a J, and they have tons of little beads sorted into bags, as well as like other little plasticky trinket things. Has just given me a curated bundle of trinkets and things that matches the outfit. Okay, look. Red and gorgeous. These are all of their vintage buttons. Gorgeous are these. Oh my god. Bank boxes that are sorted by each little item that have like glitter, vintage buttons, and then metallic cord. Like, okay, these are all of the vintage knitting needles and yarn, as well as like ribbon and trim. But I love this place because it has like everything you could ever want for a little project, and you never know what you're gonna find.
Now a word from Max of the Swagget.
Hey guys, Max here. We're in the trinket store. We got some prime trinkets. No frickin' way. We got these things. What else do we got? No way. Some more trinkets. If I needed a bag of trinkets, this is where I would go.
Okay, location 2-time team.
Okay, the next location on our trinket tour, location number 2 that we are walking to, is right in that corner over there. It is called Earth Sky Connection. Welcome to Earth Sky Connection, my favorite crystal shop in Victoria. This is their card. Earth Sky Connection. It's gorgeous here, and please go if you are here. We are about to see some gorgeous things in there, and I think we should go on in. Hi. Okay, so now we're in the store, and this is my favorite section. It's where I've gotten some of my favorite bag charms and pretty crystals and stuff. We're gonna show you around. Look at this. It's a little locket. It's a locket, and then they have like a matching amethyst locket key combination.
Guys, we're in the shop now. This is really cool. I've never been in a shop that smells so good. There's many incense and candles and a whole bunch of cool things to look at. I'm having a great time. Earth and Sky Connections is the best. Hey guys, lots of cool stuff in that store. It smelled really good.
Can I get a few words?
I had a great time. I wish I could have got my fortune read or something, but I still had a blast. I'm definitely going to be back.
And once you are 3 stores deep on your trinket tour, 2 stores deep, sorry, you should stop at the Filipino Bakery, which is on the whatever street name we're on right now. It's delicious. They are so nice in there, and I love it. I love them.
Third and final location, Time Squirrels.
Welcome to our last stop on the trinket tour of Victoria for today. This is Supply Victoria, another creative reuse center. This one is pay what you can, so they give you a sliding scale, and their goal is to divert art supplies and craft supplies from the landfill. And it's really cool in here. You can find everything in here, really cheap. It's really awesome. I love Supply. We are in Supply. I love it in here. Okay, there's lots of things, lots of different categories, lots of shiny things. I love shiny things. I love shiny things. But my favorite section, I'll show you. This is my favorite section. Look at all these buttons. Sorted by color. How gorgeous is that? Also sell lots of yarn at very good prices. I love their fabric section. You can get tons of stuff. A little bag for all of your trinkets.
This is my finished review on Yelling There's a Bus. It was super awesome. I got a sketchbook for $6 brand new. Go to Supply Victoria.
Okay, so I realized I never filmed an intro for the actual craft that I will be showing you, but that was our trinket tour of Victoria. Loved filming that. Thank you so much, Lizzie, Max, and Oscar, for helping. So what we'll be doing today, ta-da, is craft crowns. They're so silly. I love making them, and I source all of the trim fabrics, trinkets, and stuff all from the stores that I showed you in the trinket tour. Everything is connected. Game plan for the craft crowns. First thing I did, I wanted it to be a patchwork crown. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is patchworking a large piece of fabric together. So I'm going to patchwork the front of the crown and then the back of the crown, and I'm going to create one sheet of fabric from like the many small pieces of fabric, and then I'm going to fold it in half, like a taco. And then you put the fusible interfacing inside of it to give it some stiff structure. Once you've ironed in the fusible interfacing, you top stitch it down and then you top stitch around the crown points. And then now we're ready for the fun part. Now that we do the boring part, which is all the sewing it together, I find it meditative, but it's still kind of boring. And then what we do after that, we get to actually use all of our trinkets that we've collected like little crows and hot glue it onto the crown. That's kind of the plan.
Step 1. Patchwork the crown fabric together, queens.
Do you see the vision? Do you see the vision? And my mom would have me do a test piece, but the problem is I'm impatient, so I'm just gonna do what I want. Sorry guys, sorry about that. Once you have made all of your smaller pieces of fabric nice and square, then you can join them with a sewing machine into a larger piece of fabric. I'm just using a straight stitch here.
Then you do this 20 more times.
That's generally not a good sewing machine noise, see?
I like to leave my mistakes in here to humble me in front of y'all.
Tension all down. It's still so. I don't really know what to do about that. I could pick it out, but I'm impatient and I don't want to do that, so. Okay, update. We've had some major design decisions, and I completely changed my plan from the layout I showed you guys. So we'll be swapping layouts. So just bear with me through this process. Once you have two pieces of smaller fabric sewn together into one piece, you take those smaller chunks and start adding them up into one larger piece of fabric.
I'll get the gist. Sew all their scraps into one large piece of fabric, doing one strip at a time.
Now press that MF'er open, just like I'm doing here with an iron. Your iron is like your best friend when you're doing patchwork, so make sure that you have a nice one, and if you don't have a nice one, just be kind to yourself, you know. Do what you can, work with what you can. And once you have the front and the back pieces completed, you're going to join those two together into one larger piece.
Now sew the front and back together.
Okay, now if you're wondering, Maddy, it seems like a lot of work making your own fabric from scraps. Why don't you just use a complete piece of fabric so you don't have to do this kind of stuff? I would say you're not really getting the energy and the joy of patchworking, and it's gonna look really sick in the end. But I would actually agree, it takes a lot of time to do this. So if you really want to save yourself time, just use one big strip of fabric and then fold it in half, and you can skip the whole like making your own fabric part. But just know it won't look as sexy and cool as it is when you put a lot of effort into something that you could have skipped, but you didn't.
I know I just said that it's worth it to make your own fabric, but this is how I felt while doing it.
Butter the toast, eat the toast, shit the toast. God, life's relentless.
And you guessed it, next up is ironing again. And at the beginning of my sewing journey, I thought that ironing was not important. Little old me was so silly. But literally, ironing and fabric prep is like one of the most important steps in sewing, because then you get a garment that literally looks like shit when you wash it if you don't iron it, because ironing will change the shape of your fabric if you don't iron beforehand. And just do it. Don't be like past me, guys. Don't be silly. Next up, now that the front and back have been sewn together into one larger fabric piece, is to iron some fusible interfacing into the fabric sandwich to give it some structure. That way the crown stands up by itself. You're going to want to use the max setting on your iron, the one for cotton, as long as you're not using synthetic fabric. And you might have to go a couple passes over it just to make sure that the glue on the fusible interfacing is really melted.
You look like.
Oh, I got text!
It's time to cut out the crown, babes.
I'm just using my old crown as a template for tracing the new crown onto the piece of fabric that we've top stitched now, ironed on the interfacing in, and also made the fabric. Tracing each point, I'm leaving a little bit for seam allowance around the corners, and don't use a brown Sharpie. Don't be me. Use something else. Use chalk. But then I'll be cutting it out. Snip it right off.
top stitch the raw edge of the crown. You get the vibe steam.
Okay, so you're gonna top stitch around the edges of the crown, and to turn those corners, you're gonna insert your needle, stop the machine, raise the foot of the sewing machine, and then twist. So that way you don't have to like stop sewing, start sewing all over again.
Trinket hoard reveal.
It's the funnest part of the video, I'm not gonna lie. Everything else up to this is like okay and like a little bit satisfying, but this is the best mother effing part, when you get to look at all of the oddities that you've collected and then attach them onto this beautiful crown that you've made from scratch. It's insane. And look at all the things, the lace ribbon, the flowers, the trinkets I just showed you in the last clip. I'm just laying it all out and figuring out, you know, the layout. And of course, all of this will be attached with hot glue because F sewing all of these. But if you know what? If you want it to be extra and hand sew all of this on, you really could. And I really support that for you. But that's not my current journey in this video. So I'm honestly just going to let you guys enjoy watching me place all of these items and hot glue them down. I just think it's so satisfying. Look at him. Literally look at him. He's just a baby. Yes. Yes. And I'm loving this. Loving this. Woo, that's hot, motherfucker. God, this is so sick. Held together purely by glue. Normally you would sew it, but I'm being lazy tonight because I'm out of time. Okay, hi. Let me just zoom back. Okay, we're gonna, don't look, why am I always, my hair is always busted whenever I have to take it down to show you guys the crown. Oh, that is freaking good. Okay, rotate.
That's what she said. And what was that?
Okay, what do we think? What do we think? Kind of gorgeous. Kind of gorgeous. Nice. I think Mom's gonna like it.
Final reveal on my beautiful mother. Everyone say she is gorgeous, RN.
Do it again, do it again. No, he looks so cute. Okay, model, gorgeous mom. Yay, do you like it?
Yes, of
Yes.
course.
Okay, I'm gonna do a full rotation. Full rotation.
Oh, full rotation.
Okay. Forward.
Love it.
Love. Perfect.